Okay, so I've just started the recording the session as well. I'm going to record the session as well. So Anish, tell us about your background first, where you're from, and uh, about your background, studies point of view, and everything point of view.
Okay, so I'm natively from Maharashtra, but I have been raised in Odisha because of my father's job. So I'm currently a final year BTech student in electronics and instrumentation here itself in United Alkali. It's in Odisha itself, and around the uh, around the ending of my second year, I started the prep for CAT, and you could say it was I did not seriously prepare for it. You could say I started seriously preparing for it since December 2018. Yeah.
Okay, so almost 1 year. This is a hard work of complete 1 year.
Yes, you could say.
Okay. Now, before we go into the final year preparation, I want to talk about when you start the second year. How many hours on an average you used to put in 1 month, 1 week per week?
Okay, so I joined a coaching class, and I did not used to study outside of the class. I only used to attend the classes and nothing except that.
Exactly. That's
That
not
too
counted.
not all the classes. Only some of the
Exactly.
classes I used to.
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to say. Those who think ना कि हमने 2 साल join किया, 3 years जो join किया classes, because people don't study.
Yeah.
ऊपर से you are an engineer. Engineer never study before time. We only study towards the end only. So December, I would say you started your preparation, and when you actually became serious about the preparation, like now this is the do or die. So
Uh,
when was that?
you could say December I started the preparation, and I gave my first mock at around January. And
Okay.
what happened it in that mock I got a good score, and then I felt that yeah, I could do well in this exam. So from that point I guess I started my preparation seriously.
Okay. Okay. How much was that score percentile in the first mock?
It was if I'm able to recall correctly, it was around 150.
150 marks in the first mock.
But it was slightly misleading because I think it was the difficulty was
Easy.
easier.
Easy
Yeah,
mock, a
yeah.
baby mock
Because
type
in the
baby mock.
subsequent mocks, my score again went down to around 110.
Okay. What was the lowest score?
My lowest score was 75 or 76, something like
And that was during which month?
that. In May or June, somewhere around there.
So okay. So your curve kind of a
Yeah,
dipped,
it's a
and then
week curve. Yeah.
yeah, it's a V curve. So anyone who is scoring around 75, 80 marks in June, so we have another 1 month for that phase, so they can get 99 percentile plus, right?
Yes, sure, sure.
But this is my this thing, this everyone who is watching this video should understand that you can do it. Even if you start now, you can do it, everything. So now come my main question. How did you handle your college studies and this thing together?
So I didn't have any fixed timetable. Uh, I just, I just kept it in my mind that no matter what happens, every day I'm going to keep 3 hours aside for cat prep, one for verbal, one for DILR, and one for points. And of course, on the weekend we get more time than on the weekdays. So I used to compensate the time that I lost on weekdays, and I gave around two mock tests every week, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. Only that much fine was fine for me.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, was there any phase during the preparation when you were feeling like I'm not, it's not going to happen? So, was there any experience you want to, because everyone is feeling the same ups and downs to आते ही होंगे. So, any downtime you had during the preparation?
Yes, as I previously told you, after January, I got a big boost in confidence seeing my high marks. But then after I started scoring less and less, I started feeling very demotivated. I found I was not able to do anything in DILR. Even after 30 minutes, I wouldn't have solved even one question of even one set. I would get around 12 or 15 marks in DILR out of 100. It was around April May period. But then I realized my mistake, which was that I was not actually preparing the right thing to do in DI. I was preparing DI and LR separately. What I had to do was, because in CAT, of course, we don't have those sections separate. Like DI and LR are combined in one. So I had to adjust my preparation accordingly, and I also had to look out for the like in every CAT exam in DILR section, you see that there are 2 to 3 common sets, like common sets which come. So I had to identify that and uh, gear my preparation towards that.
And can you tell me with common mean common with the mocks? or common type like games, always like one set
Common
on
type,
games?
yes, common type like games. One you get from set theory always. One, I guess, pure DI set is always there.
Right,
Those
right,
type
right.
of sets I had to identify and try to solve.
And then focus on that. Superb. And how much you scored in DA section approximately, if you remember?
Uh, my raw score was 45 in
Raw
DI.
score 45. Okay, so 15. So around four sets.
Yeah, 4 sets, 15 questions solved.
15 question correct. So I'm assuming approximately four sets you did right, and
Yeah,
then
4 sets.
superb, superb, superb. Okay, so which three things you felt were the main good thing about you during the preparation, obviously, which helped you score that much marks?
Okay, so the first thing I would say that my I used to I read a lot of books, so that's why my verbal was strong. I did not have to like prepare for RCs. I just practiced them, and I consistently used to get good marks in VARC. So that was a big plus point for me. Second, after I had identified which type of DILR sets which I had to do, I was very consistent. Like I would every exam I would solve 4 to 5 sets in the particular mock, which ensured that I had a minimum of around 40 score in DILR section. And in maths, I found earlier I found that I was attempting a lot of questions, uh, and I would, for example, I would attempt 25 questions, and out of that 12 were correct and 13 were wrong. So a lot of negative marking was there. So I reined back on the number of questions that I would attempt in order to improve my accuracy, and that improved my score in quants as well.
Okay, superb, superb. Okay, how to prepare for verbal session for the beginners? That's the first question we have got from Piyush.
Okay, so the first thing I would say that if you read books, try to go for fiction books, fiction because they uh, I know uh, as someone who is preparing for exam, reading like 10 RCs a day can get boring, but it never gets boring to read to read a good book. So if you can develop that habit, I would say that that would improve your score in VARC a lot, because you would be able to comprehend the passages in a short amount of time and thus saving a lot of time.
Can you name us a few books which you think are quite interesting to start with?
Okay, so I primarily read from Agatha Christie books made, written by Agatha Christie and P.G. Wodehouse. So if you like murder stories, you can go with Agatha Christie, or if you are a comedy fan, you can pick up P.G. Wodehouse.
Right. Okay. Himanshu Sethi, for those who don't like to read books, what,
For those who don't like to read books, I guess.
start reading? No other option.
I mean, because reading books, it does make it a lot easier for you to attend the
Okay,
RC part of the VARC.
right. So let me help you here, boss. You have to read because CAT paper is only reading, no grammar, no vocab. You can weak in all the other areas, but reading is the pure thing. All 34 questions are based on reading. You have to read one paragraph for every question.
Yes,
So you have to get used to reading. And newspaper, did you used to read newspaper to improve your English verbal point of view?
yes, I did start reading newspaper from around a year ago from now.
Which newspaper?
The Hindu. I
The
used to
Hindu.
read only the front page and the editorial. That's it.
Okay. So how to manage your college and CAT study? We just talked about that. So 3 hours every day,
Yeah,
1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour,
yeah,
and then weekend pay obviously more hours and the mocks, two mocks every week.
2 marks every week. Yeah, 45 minutes.
That was a consistent strategy throughout the
Yeah,
thing.
throughout the later half of the year.
Later half the obviously yeah, we are engineers. The graph will always go up towards the exam. So obviously तो होता ही है. And when was a time when you started feeling कि नहीं यार, this is a good score, now I think I am on the verge of getting a good call?
Good call. Around. Okay, so one mock I think I gave in October. I got a very good score of around like 195 or something. So around that time, I thought that if okay, my strategy is set. I will do these things only. I will attempt this much question. If I am able to replicate this in the actual CAT, I'm on the way to getting a good score and probably get calls from all the IIMs.
Superb, excellent. Yes, that is important. That might be a tipping point in the preparation. कि now
Yeah.
you reach a level कि जब will be call तो आने वाला है. Okay, great. So we talked about the DI logic. We talked the verbal section. From the quant point of view, what was your strategy for quant?
Okay, so this is actually very interesting. In most of the videos, I have always heard during my preparation that the most important parts are arithmetic and geometry. But the problem is I hate geometry a lot. I can't. I'm during the preparatory phase. I tried to like mug up all the formulas on all the theorems that are that are associated with geometry, but I found that I couldn't do it. So I skipped geometry. So I skipped geometry altogether. I did not attend even a single question in geometry. So, but I made sure that I compensated that by putting more time in the arithmetic and algebra, all those sections that I'm strong in. So for quants, I would say that your main focus should be on accuracy. You can't go blindly marking any answer that you think is right. I used to do that a lot, and because of that, I would get around like minus 13 or minus 15 marks in quants. You are just throwing away marks at that point, right? So you have to rein that in. For that, I found out the hard way by giving more and more mocks. So that you can, and that is the first thing you should analyze in your mocks, in my opinion.
Okay, great. So how many mocks you might have given total throughout the journey?
I think around 45 marks. Yes.
45. 40 is a good number. Yeah, 40, 45 is a very good number
Yes.
to get a good percentile. All right. So we have a Himanshu question. Himanshu, what was the strategy on the D-Day? Like verbal, may you had a plan that you will do RC first, and within RC you will pick up this type of RC first.
Okay. So I had the afternoon slot. So I got the feedback. I actually watched your video. Uh, you were giving the feedback.
Morning slot.
Standing on the road, and you're giving the feedback on the. I watched that video, and then I got to know that the verbal part was really difficult. And then I got scared because my strong point is verbal, and verbal was difficult. So where would I get my marks from? But I kept my calm. I had strategy of uh, I would I would take around 9 minutes for one RC passage, so 5 RC passages 45 minutes, and then in the next 15 minutes I would solve the VA part. I was never particularly that strong in the VA part. I never like dedicatedly prepared for it. So I always
I just like to stop you here 1 second, Kelly. I have interviewed almost 10 people. Out of 10, 9 people have said, ulta of what people think, that RC is more scoring and more strong for them than the verbal part. So 9 out of 10. So this is advice to everyone, focus on RCs. You might be scared of RC today, but the para jumble, para completion is more scary in the exam day. But scoring in para jumble, I think, is more difficult than scoring in RC.
Yes, because it's very confusing as well. The options are very close, and you don't know which one to go for. I only attempted, I guess, which had no negative marking, the one which you had to type. That was, I guess, the only ones I attempted in the VA section. Then for DILR, my strategy always was to uh, try to identify the easiest set, as most of the people say. I always aim for around 4 to 5 sets, but and I had heard that in the first slot the difficulty was less than CAT 2018. So I was expecting some easier sets, but I don't know what happened. I was not able to perform that well or something. And in the first 30 minutes or something, I had solved like only one set. But in the next 30 minutes, I kind of like pulled myself up together, and I was able to identify the easier sets that they were there, and I was able to solve 3 more sets.
Superb. Then we do quant.
And quants, I guess like what you had mentioned in your video also, quants was easier than CAT 2018, and with a lot of questions from arithmetic, which I think is my strong point. So I attempted a lot of questions from arithmetic, skipping every geometry questions because I don't know geometry, and I was able to attempt around 25 questions in quants because of that.
Right. Okay. Do you agree with me? In the quant section, there were at least 10 questions which were as easy as a solved example. Like you might be shocked, yaar, itna easy kaise aa gaya? Right or wrong?
Yeah, it's very true because like most of the questions in quant on on the D-Day, I could easily relate back to the questions. I had very similar questions that I have faced during my mocks. You could almost say that if you know the fundas very well, you could turn your brain off and answer those questions, those 10 or 15 questions that are very easy.
Superb. And that can clear the cutoff in
Yeah,
itself.
you can clear the cutoff if you are struggling in quants because of that.
Okay, great, great, great. And okay, now we'll move to the second part of the day for the GDP preparation. Fine. First come to the mind. In fact, Quora, look at everywhere. Everybody's complaining one thing, that people who have work experience, only those people converted to IIM call. This is a maximum garbage, I would say, which is there on everywhere. And you
Yeah,
are the
that's
live
right.
example who is a fresher and converted this with not very high percentile also. Like people say, no, you need 99.9 plus, you need 9.99 to be call nahi aata hai, convert nahi hota hai. So what is your take on that? Does work experience matter?
It matters. I don't think it matters that heavily because the questions are different. For work, from what I have gathered from all the candidates that were along with me for the interviews, for work experience, the question is about their work, of course, because they have experience. And for freshers, the majority of the questions that were asked to me were about academics and what I had done in my 4 years in college and hobbies and all that. So I guess in a way it's easier for us to prepare actually because the pool of questions where you get asked from is limited. So if you prepare well for it, you can answer. In my opinion, you can answer it even better than people who have work experience. And I don't think like the people who are freshers are at a disadvantage because in any B school that you take, yeah, a minimum of about 30% of the people are still freshers there, right? So how can
Exactly.
it's
It's one third,
competitive?
one third, one third,
Yeah,
one third.
one third are freshers.
Super. Okay. So do you want to share any experience which happened at IIM A or B or C interview, that something went very good or something went very bad and you were not expecting something like that?
Okay, so I have what you would say a useless hobby, that is playing video games. Okay, so of course, like any sensible person, tried my best to hide it in all the interviews that I went to. But in IIM Ahmedabad, the the BAT, I guess they call it, the batting ability test, it was itself on the impact on social media and video games, if I'm not mistaken. So there I wrote a lot of things about video games because I naturally know a lot of things about them and about esports. So and then when it was my turn for the interview, they called me in, and the whole interview was based on the AWT that I wrote. So the whole 20 minutes we spent discussing about video games, esports, the future, uh, like is it sustainable or not, and whatnot about that. So that was like very unexpected because I never imagined that I would be asked about video games in an interview for the top B school in India.
तो मम्मी ने जो कहा था गेम मत खेलो to help you to convert IIM Ahmedabad this way.
That's what I said to her right after my interview. I called her up and said, okay.
Okay, which game you like to play the most? PUBG or something else?
No, it's a game called Dota. It's an esports, so they were mostly asking me
Okay,
about it.
okay, superb. And then IIM Bangalore interview.
IIM Bangalore was mostly based on the statement. Every IIM Bangalore interview, I guess, is based upon the statement of purpose that you refill and submit. So that interview is the easiest to predict what questions that they will be asking because they can only ask the questions on the things that you have written in your recipe. So I wrote about my hobbies and my internships, and accordingly I got asked question about that. So it was a very clear cut interview. Nothing, there were no surprises in it, in my opinion. And that's why it was the best interview that I gave, coincidentally.
And IIM Calcutta.
Kolkata is always famous for asking more quants question. So they did ask me questions on probabilities, and also they asked me a couple of questions from my academics, which I was not able to answer that well.
Okay, great. You are I think the third or fourth person I'm interviewing this year who said the same thing, that they could not answer the question around Calcutta. One boy, sorry, 17 questions back to back he could not answer. 17 question, and they were counting. One of the guy was counting actually. One, okay, second question, third question, fourth. So, and they still took him. So same thing happened to you as well. How many questions you could not answer?
I couldn't answer any question from my academics.
Oh shit. How many?
Because-
4, 5?
No, I think I was at around six questions.
Six
or
questions you
seven.
could not answer, and you still converted.
Yeah, I got waitlist 7, but after that, I think the time was up, and then I got a convert.
Okay, so we are today 6 months away from the CAT exam. So first of all, do you think anyone who's starting today can do it?
Yes, definitely. There is no reason why a person starting today won't get like more than 99.5 if he's starting then.
Like you said you were started from December, so you spent almost 1 year in the CAT preparation, 3 hours every day.
Yes.
And if a person can do 6 hours every day, he can do the same thing how in half the time. Obviously, I'm not assuming other things.
That 3 hours every day was also from June only. It was not before June.
Yeah, यही मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ. The day you join or the day you think about CAT and the day you actually become serious are two different dates.
Yes, absolutely.
The seriousness in December, January might not be same as in June, July, and the seriousness in October, November is not same as a June, July. So the graph keep on changing according to that.
As the exam comes closer, yes, seriousness increases.
Right. So any interview you were expecting कि यार ये नहीं हो पाएगा, that I don't think I'll convert this interview, and then you converted the interview.
Yes, the first interview which I gave, which was for IIM
Lucknow. First interview always Lucknow.
So there I had prepared my ACADS well enough, but in engineering, if you remember, like we have our normal subjects and then we have optionals. Right?
Yes.
So I had prepared all my core subjects thoroughly, and then I went in. They looked at my grade sheet and said, "Okay, which optionals do you know? Which optionals have you taken?" I didn't even remember the name of the subject that I had taken in my interviews. I just like looked at them for a second and then frantically trying to remember what I have studied in the last 4 years, and then I spoke like one or two names of subject at them, and then they I guess asked me for a description which I was not convincingly able to give them, but I think it was a stress interview from the beginning, because like before even before they called me into the hall, they were already screaming at me in the hallway itself in front of all the other candidates. So I think they just wanted to test how well can this candidate maintain his composure, and I think I did it well, so that's why I got into it.
Superb. I think this year IIM Ahmedabad was quite light. IIM Ahmedabad was no more stress interview.
No.
What
I'm
people-
very cool.
Sorry?
My panel was extremely cool. Like, they weren't shouting or.
And what about others? You have any idea? Any of the panelists was tough because the people I have come across, all of them said it was light. But they went with the focus कि tough होएगा, but not tough था नहीं.
No, in my center, which was Kolkata, like all the panelists were light, because like we were having conversation between all the students, and all of them were saying, yeah, it was a chill interview, nothing out of ordinary was asked to them.
Okay. Some question from the interview. Umesh is asking this question. Some question from the interview. Like apart from your academic, there were question on technical side, your college life.
Yes.
Apart from that.
Technical side, okay. So one question, if you are a fresher, you should definitely prepare for is why should we hire a fresher? That's like if you go for 8 interviews, 4 of them will have that question. So have an answer ready for them. In fact, in IIM Kolkata interview, we went on that discussion for about 10 minutes with like various hypothetical cases that they were assuming and what this, that, or not. Take that into account. Another would be, of course, to brush up your current events. You get asked a lot of questions from current events. My indoor interview was mainly current event focused, which I did not know, so I did not convert it, of course. And then about the modern technologies, I would say you should prepare for it, like AI and machine learning. That are all the craze these days. So you should have at least a basic idea about how.
Right.
Apart from that, your personality, your hobbies, your academics, that's all they really want.
Okay, great. No problem. So any IIM interview or any interview you could not convert this year? You can read all.
No, Lucknow. Yeah, Lucknow I didn't convert.
You could not convert Lucknow.
Yeah, Lucknow I could not convert because they asked me some maths question, which it was a proof question, and I really suck at proof questions. So I wasn't able to answer that, and then they asked me more GK questions, but I didn't know the answer. That's why I got rejected.
Yeah, why now we can't understand that. I am Calcutta, so you could not answer, but they chose you. So this is always the, you never know. At times you never know क्यों हुआ तो क्यों हुआ, and if you're rejected, then why you rejected. Sometimes you can't answer that question at all.
Exactly. I for 100% thought that my Lucknow would be a reject. Like I was very surprised when like a week ago I got the convert email from them. You can't predict what happens. All you have to do is like go in and give the best that you got and hope for the best.
Superb, superb, superb. Okay, so my typical question in the end: how seat taking helped you in this journey?
See, I started watching sea taking from the time I started preparing Excel from around November or December. So I actually used to watch all the videos that you uploaded. I really like the motivation that you provide to the aspirants. Your talks, like you make jokes about lifting up spirits and trying hard. Apart from that, I also like the strategies that you gave, like your RC strategies and form strategies, the breakup that you provide. That like you sea taking was the main info for cat for me actually. Even on the D-Day for cat, I was looking up at your video. Okay, analysis. Okay, let's see it. So
So
you guys really helped me out a lot.
superb. Thank you, yeah. Thank you. Which other exams you gave? You gave that and other exams as well?
No, I only give because after 7 days from CAT, the marks got released, and I found out that I had high enough marks, so I thought, why to give other exams if I can. Also, like, if you are a final year student, you don't get that many leaves, right? I was
Mm,
already attending 7 interviews. If I would give more exams, then I would have been like depart from my final year student. Or something.
okay, so we have one last question for you. In interview, personality is given more weightage or academics?
Personality or academics?
Even I could understand the question clearly. So, I mean, the overall non-academic things are more important, or the academic is more important?
Academics, I guess they're only testing on a basic level. Like, okay, if you are an electric engineer, you should know electronics engineer. You should know what a diode is. You don't need to know the in-depth all the in-depth stuff. But I guess personality is more important in that scenario, right? Because in all the interviews that I faced, I wasn't that confident on any of the academic answers that I gave. But on personality, and personality, you can relate to like your hobbies, what you have done in the 4 years. I guess those are more important because that's what they are looking for in a candidate.
Superb, superb, superb. So, thank you, yeah. Thank you, Anish, for coming us and helping us out here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, yeah. Thank you very much.